see you. I'm glad. You know what? Hang on. Yeah, this will work. I am actually getting ready to take a little trip. I know that some of you guys are probably in the same position right now. It is summer. It is warm. We should be out doing things that are fun and exciting. And I've got my car loaded up here and ready to go. And if you ask your moms or dads, I'm pretty sure they will be able to tell you what's going on back here. But I want to say, first of all, welcome to Orange Kids Live Prime Time. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight. I hope that you are as excited to be here as I am to have you here. We are continuing to talk about what it looks like to have God's influence in each and every one of our lives. And I hope that that is what you have been getting out of all of the videos like this that we have done. Because I've been having fun being here with you guys, and I hope that you've been enjoying it too. So, go ahead, leave a message for me in the comments if there's anything that you want to talk about or want to discuss. And while you're thinking that up, I'm going to share with you what this month's theme is. That's right, it's June. We're not doing Unstuck anymore. We are now doing something completely different. Now, if you watched two videos ago, you got to see an early clip of what we're going to be talking about this month. Who remembers what it is? Go ahead and type it into the comments. Type. Go ahead and type it in. I'll wait. Go ahead. I'm waiting. Type. Okay, I'll just go ahead and tell you. This month, we are talking about the theme, focus. Focus to take a closer look. Focus is our theme for the entire month of June. And I really hope that you guys are excited and ready to connect and learn and understand what it means to have focus. We'll be covering what this month's virtue is and the new Bible verse in just a little bit. But right now, I'm going to go ahead and throw it over to the video. So you guys sit back, grab your popcorn if you popped any, and go ahead and sit back and enjoy as we learn what focus is going to be talking about this month. Take a look.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Hebrews, chapters 11 and 12.
Gotta have a little faith. Keep the faith. Take a leap of faith. You know, a lot of people toss around the word faith lately. We say you can break the faith, or just take it all on blind faith. But true faith isn't blind at all. It's much more than just an inspirational word. True faith has to do with believing in all the things you can't see, because you start with what you can see. Now, we can't see God with our physical eyes, but we can see the stories of people who came before us. They lived in a broken world like we do, but they chose to follow God. They chose to trust His promise that one day He would send a rescuer that would make everything right again. The writer of Hebrews in the New Testament tells us about some of these men and women in God's story. People like Noah, people like Abraham. When God called Abraham, he was already getting old. He and his wife Sarah didn't have kids.
Leave your country and your people. Leave your father's family. Go to the land I will show you. All nations on earth will be blessed because of you.
God was planning on sending His rescuer as one of Abraham's great, etc. grandchildren. But still, even though Abraham had God's promise, he still couldn't see the one God was sending. Still, Abraham went on a wild adventure, following God's call. And even his descendants, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph, all chose faith in God. Moses, too, was called by God from the fiery heart of a burning bush. Even though he was raised by Pharaoh's daughter, he chose to stand with his own people and face Pharaoh's anger to win freedom. We read about it like this in the book of Hebrews.
Moses suffered shame because of Christ. He thought it of great value.
See, when you check out Hebrews, you discover this huge list of people who followed God by faith, so many that the writer just stops trying to list all of them. Oh, but we can't forget Israel's most important king, David.
Get up, and anoint him. This is the one.
Even though God had promised David would be king, though, David spent years on the run from King Saul, fearing for his life. Still, he chose to trust God.
The Lord is my shepherd. He gives me everything I need.
Now, none of these people in the Old Testament could see with their eyes how God was going to save his people, but they could see how he was working in their lives, how their needs were being met. So they chose to believe in his greater plan. They chose faith.
Faith is being sure of what we hope for. It is being sure of what we do not see. That is what the people of long ago were praised for.
Now, here's where the story turns. In Hebrews, we discover that none of those people in the Old Testament received what God had promised here on earth.
That's because God had planned something better for us, so they would only be made perfect together with us.
God's plan includes all of us from the very beginning of creation. So at just the right moment, at the perfect point in time, God sent his rescuer, the hero, his very own son, Jesus. Jesus showed us how to live. He showed us what God was like, and he told us the most important thing.
If you love one another, everyone will know you are my disciples.
Love God, love others. It's the heart of the whole story. But then, Jesus was killed, and his friends thought the story was finished. Period. Dot. The end. Until God raised him back to life. Jesus has defeated death, and those who follow him can live with him forever. But how do you follow someone you can't see? Well, that brings us back to faith.
Let us keep looking to Jesus. He is the one who started this journey of faith, and he is the one who completes this journey of faith. He paid no attention to the shame of the cross. He suffered there because of the joy he was looking forward to. So think about him. Then you won't lose hope.
The early believers, Peter and John and other followers of Jesus, had seen him teach and heal. They saw him after God raised him to life. But after Jesus returned to heaven, the believers continued to live by faith.
We have to speak about the things we've seen and heard.
Because of what the new Christians in the early church had seen, they could believe in what they could not yet see, the end of the story, where God makes everything right. They kept the faith, and because they did, we can choose faith too.
So what did you guys think about that? What did you think about what it means to have faith in trusting God? Having faith to follow God even when you're not sure where he's going to lead you next, even when you're not certain about what's going to be next in your story. When you don't know if this year you're going to move to a new house or if next year you might move to a new house. When you aren't sure what God has in mind for you, that is faith. That's whenever you are trusting God to lead you even when you're not sure what comes next. When you're trusting God to guide you even in the midst of being unsure what his plan is for your life. But we can trust God, and because we can trust God, we can trust that his plan for us can always be something that we can get through, that we can endure, or get through without any problems. We can trust that God's got a way of holding us close to him and giving us confidence as we're going through all of the things that he has for us. We can trust him and we can have faith in what God has for you and what he has for me. And that's a very exciting thing to think about. So, without further ado, let me give you the definition of faith. Faith is our virtue this month. And a virtue, I'm sure you guys are getting to the point where you remember this, but a virtue is a characteristic of God. It is something God is doing in you to change the entire world around you. That's what a virtue is. And faith means this. Faith is trusting in what you can't see because of what you can see. Let's go ahead and say that together. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Faith. Trusting in what you can't see because of what you can see. Now, I've loved some of the demonstrations that I've seen done about faith before. Now, some of you guys, you may have seen some of these before, and if you have, that's totally cool. But I want you to think about them anyway, okay? Think about wind. Do you believe that wind exists? Do you? Have you ever seen it? If you haven't seen wind, how do you know that it exists? Well, I know that wind exists because if I'm sitting out on my porch on a nice warm summer's day and wind blows by, I can see the impact that the wind has on the trees and the leaves and the grass. Or gravity. Have you ever seen gravity? Do you know that gravity exists? How do you know? Well, I can take this super duper neato screen clip that I have here, and I can hold it like this and drop it, and it fell to the ground. I can't see gravity, but I know that it's there. I believe that gravity exists because I see the things around me that are impacted by it. And God is the exact same way. I don't have to physically see God with my eyes to know that He's here, to know that He's around me, and know that He exists and He is present. Because God is everywhere. He's everything in the world that matters the most to you. Whenever you think about the love that you have from your mom or dad or grandma or grandpa, they're reflecting the love that God has for you. When you think about your love for somebody else, that's you reflecting God's love for them too. That is how we know that God is the biggest and most important thing in our entire lives, is because He is the one that created everything that we see. And because of that, because of knowing that He created all of that, we can trust Him and have faith in His plan for you and for me. Let's take a look at our verse. Our verse this month says this: faith is being sure of what we hope for. It is being sure of what we do not see. I'm going to read that again, and then we'll repeat it together, okay? Faith is being sure of what we hope for. It is being sure of what we do not see. So let's go ahead and read that one time together. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Faith is being sure of what we hope for. It is being sure of what we do not see. Hebrews 11:1 NIRV. That is an incredibly important verse, because just because you can't see something doesn't mean that it's not there. Just because you can't experience an opportunity of sitting down and talking across from God doesn't mean that He's not there. It's like the wind. It's like gravity. It exists, and we know that it exists, but we can't see the fact that it exists. We can only go by the things that we have seen around us. I'm going to give you this week's bottom line. Here we go. Take a look. You can know Jesus even though you've never seen Him. You can know Jesus even though you have never seen Him. See, because we know what it means to be somebody that follows Jesus. We know what it means to follow the things that Jesus has asked us to do. And we know what that looks like because we've all experienced it, hopefully, at one time or another. But just because you don't get to sit and talk with Jesus or sit and have a milkshake with Jesus doesn't mean that you can't know Him. You can still talk to Him by praying. You can still experience what it's like to spend time with Jesus, even whenever it might seem like it's kind of tough because He's far away. Because Jesus loves you, and He wants to have a conversation. He wants to be able to listen to what you talk to Him about. And the way that we can talk to Him and share with Him the things that are happening in our lives, and the way we go through that process, is through prayer. Now, maybe you're somebody who's never really prayed before, and maybe you're hearing me talk about that, and you're like, I don't really understand what that looks like. I don't really know how to do that. Basically, it doesn't have to be hard. Talking to God and sharing things with Jesus, it doesn't have to be some great big thing. And if you want to learn how to pray, I would love to be able to teach you, okay? So you just kind of take a minute and clear your mind of all of the stuff that you've been thinking of. And then you start talking to God. It can be as simple as this. Hi, God. I just wanted to let you know that I've been having a good day today. And in my good day, I saw some things that made me think of you. I saw the wind blow through the trees. And I saw an acorn fall out of a tree branch. And God, that made me think of how I can't see the wind and I can't see gravity, but I know both of them are there. And God, I know that you are there too. And I want to thank you for loving me. Amen. It's as simple as that. Sometimes your prayers might include stuff where you want to pray for grandma or grandpa or your brother or sister or maybe something else that's going on in your life. But in this case, this time, it was simply just telling God, you know what, God, I saw stuff today and it made me think of you and I wanted you to know. Sometimes that's all that a prayer needs to be. But that's what faith looks like, is taking an opportunity and using it to spend time with God and believing in God. Now, I know that last week we had introduced a program called the So-and-So Show. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I'm going to be loading that up for you guys to see every week from now on for as long as we possibly can. I hope that you guys enjoy it. I'm going to throw it over to those guys, and you can watch another episode of the So-and-So Show, and you'll get to see what Kellen has to say about faith and believing in God. So I hope to see you guys right back here next week on Orange Kids Live, and that does it for me. Take care.
Oh, John, good. You're here. And we're starting in 2 minutes.
Oh, okay. You haven't seen my glasses, have you?
You look great.
Yeah, thanks.
Hey, John. Script looks good today.
Really? I haven't read the script. Hey, you haven't seen my glasses, have you?
No, I haven't. Where was the last place you looked for them?
Well, I was sitting right here and getting ready for the show when I saw a little white rabbit run across the set, so I followed him down a hole where I got really small, then really tall, and there was a cat, a queen, and a caterpillar. And the next thing I know, I'm coming through the door and I don't have my glasses.
Yeah, I was going to let you look for them a little longer, but your day's been weird enough already. Your glasses are on your head.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Yes, let's get this show on the road.
John, are you feeling okay?
Yeah, great. Now that I found my glasses. Why?
No reason.
Why is everybody looking at me like that?
Welcome to the So-and-So Show. I'm Brandon. And we are glad you're hanging out with us today.
Yep.
Hey, what is with the glasses?
Whoa! Trying out my new toy that came in a cereal box.
You're telling me those binoculars came in this box?
Yeah, but they're not binoculars, they're micro goggles.
Ooh, what's micro goggles?
Yeah, they're kind of like hands-free microscopes. They help you focus in on tiny things so you can see them closer.
Oh, yeah, okay.
There's apparently a secret message on the back of this that I need to use these to find out what it says.
Oh, really? Cool. What's the secret message say?
Eat more cereal. Ha-ha!
You don't say.
Yeah.
Mind if I take a look?
No, I guess it's kind of a subliminal marketing thing, huh?
I don't think it's subliminal.
Wow, man!
Yeah.
What are you saying? These things are useless.
What?
I'm sending them back.
No, you don't have to send them back. Wait. We could use them to play a game.
Oh, great!
It's time to play Random Magnified Things.
Hey!
Random magnified things.
Okay, this screen is about to show us random things as seen through your micro goggles.
Okay.
So, Each image is magnified 100 times its normal viewing size. All we have to do is figure out what each thing is. Whoever gets the most right wins. Got it?
Of course.
Great, you go first.
All right, hit me small. That looks like let's see, 100 times. I'm gonna go with it looks like a trombone, but that's too big, right?
I don't
That'd
know.
be their actual size. Like this is how big a trombone normally
It
is.
looks like a bridge to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a thumbtack.
Thumbtack?
Yeah, the curvature of the thumbtack.
All right, sure.
Okay, great.
Yeah, let's see if you're right.
Oh,
You were in the right arena.
Yeah, office supplies.
That's right. Okay, my turn. Show me tiny. Okay.
I think I know what this is.
I would guess it was like a close-up of like a grasshopper or something like
Yeah,
that. But
yeah.
there's a little red here. A little red and a little green. I'm gonna guess a strawberry.
Ooh, strawberry it is. Brandon guesses strawberry. What is it? Oh, tomato.
Darn it.
Ah, that's right. All right. Back to me. Macro machines go. Oh, what in the world? Oh, wait.
You know?
I know what this is. At first, I thought it was a lemon. But
Okay.
it's not.
I know what it
because
is.
we're magnified.
Yeah.
That is a pencil.
That's what I think too.
Yeah.
Let's see. Did he get it?
Pencil.
Yeah, you're right. That was very good. That's very
All
good.
right,
Me
all
again. It's teeny time.
All right.
Hooah. Oh man, that's.
I know what that is.
I think I know what it is. It looks like my favorite dessert. Is that an Oreo? It's an Oreo.
Oh,
I was right.
Yes, you were. Okay.
I want some milk.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. It's my turn now. All right. Micro machines go.
All right.
All right.
What do you
Ooh,
think
what
that
is
one
that? I don't know. It could be celery. Maybe like fiber optic cable,
It
or
does look like that.
but it's bunched up like. Oh,
What are you
no,
gonna go
it's a toothbrush.
Is it a toothbrush? You
Oh,
betcha! Well
the
done. Well done.
boom.
Okay, I got
All right, your
another
turn,
one. Minutia, hit me. Oh man,
Oh.
is that more fruit?
It
I don't
looks
know.
like-
It looks like cracks in something.
Oh, that is interesting.
Like oh my goodness,
almost looks like a nose.
it does. Man, that is really hard. I'm going to say it's a bowling ball. I don't know. I got
A
nothing.
bowling ball.
Yeah, so I can't. I don't
Okay,
know
is
what
it a bowling ball? Oh, it's a bottle cap.
Oh, I see. Great.
Wow.
I don't think we can afford that image.
No, but I don't think so either. Hey, okay, let's move quickly.
There's one more. This round is worth 1,000,000 points.
Is it? Why did we bother with all the other rounds?
We're both playing on this one, so the
Okay.
first person to correctly identify the image wins. Are you ready?
Yeah, you're killing me, Smalls. All right, go ahead and hit it.
It's fool's gold.
No,
Is
it's
it,
cornbread. Cornbread.
No, it's the inside of an orange.
It's
I'm
it's
not
not
very good with color.
Shush.
Okay, why
It's-
shush?
Because I don't want you to win. It's a rock candy.
Rock candy, that's good.
It's the inside of a bee.
honeycomb?
Hive. Honeycomb.
It's a sponge. It's a sponge.
It's
It's not a sponge. This is going to take forever. Is it the cereal honeycomb?
Ooh.
No.
Is it a cereal? Cereal.
It is cereal.
It is. It's Frosted Flake. We
I don't know
could've
who
won.
got that one.
I don't
Really, I
realize-
said cereal. You
know
said
what?
a cereal.
We'll do 500,000 each.
Okay, great.
Okay,
so
that's
I
great.
win.
Yeah.
It's Bible story time with Kellen.
Hey guys, what's going on? Why do you have binoculars on your face?
They're not binoculars.
Don't ask. Do you have something for us?
Well, I do. It's all about folks who believe in something they couldn't see.
Sounds perfect.
They're micro goggles.
Take it away, Kellen.
You bet. Now, we can't actually see God, not even with micro goggles. But we can see the stories of people in the past who put their faith in God. And I've got some special people to help me tell some of their stories. It's time for another edition of
Kid Perspective!
The writer of the book of Hebrews reminds us of a guy named Abraham.
What up? I'm Abraham.
Well, actually, when God called Abraham, he was already pretty old.
Oh. What up? I'm Abraham.
Better. Abraham and his wife Sarah.
I'm Sarah, with an H, in case you were wondering.
No, that's good to know. Even though they were old, they didn't have any kids.
We ain't got no kids.
But God told us to leave our home and go to a new land. He's promised us. Plus, he told us we would have kids. He promised.
Look at us. We're old. We're like cassette players or rotary phones.
Didn't you hear what I said? I said he promised.
Oh, then let's go.
So they followed God and they had kids and grandkids and great-grandkids.
We got kids now.
Yeah, we do.
Yes, they did, just like God promised. God also promised Abraham that the whole world would be blessed because of Abraham's family. Abraham would not be alive to see the whole world being blessed, but he had faith that God would keep his promise. And now let's talk about one of Abraham's great.
Why not just say descendants?
Yeah, that'd be easier. One of Abraham's descendants, Moses.
Let my people go!
Wait, before that, when Moses was a baby.
Goo goo gaga!
He was rescued by his mother, who hid him in a basket on the banks of the Nile River.
Wow!
Until he was found by Pharaoh's daughter.
Oh, look at you, my sweet little
Mama!
baby.
Yeah, so Moses was raised in the royal Egyptian family, even though he was actually an Israelite. The Israelites were slaves of the Egyptians. But one day, God spoke to Moses through a burning bush.
I want you to bring the Israelites out of Egypt and into a land flowing with milk and honey. They are my people.
As much as I love milk and honey, I'm not sure I'm the right guy for the job.
I will be with you.
Oh, all right then.
Moses chose to stand with his own people, God's people, and he led them to freedom from slavery. Oh, you can do it now.
Oh, let my people go!
Mwah, beautiful.
Thank you.
The Israelites were free from slavery. And even though Moses didn't live to see the land flowing with milk and honey that God promised his people, Moses still had faith that God would keep his promise. Then there was David, who was anointed to be king of Israel.
That's right. I'm anointed. What does anointed mean?
It means you're not king yet. I'm still the king. So give me that crown.
Oh, okay. Here you go, King Saul.
Thank you. You're not getting this back. I'm going to be the king, and then my son will be king, and then my son's son will be king, and then my son's son will be king, and then...
Sorry, King Saul. God promised David he would be the next king.
He promised? Man.
Thank you.
David was the next king of Israel like God promised. And God promised that David's family would always have a king on the throne. And even though King David would not live to see the birth of his descendant, who would rule God's people forever, David had faith that God would keep his promise. These people, they lived thousands of years ago, and they didn't always see what God promised them. But God could see things they couldn't see. And guess what? We can see things they couldn't see. We know the whole world was blessed through Abraham's family because one of Abraham's descendants was Jesus. We know that the Israelites made it into the land flowing with milk and honey.
Yes! Praise God.
And we know Jesus is also a descendant of King David. And even though we can't see forever, we can have faith that Jesus will always rule like a king because that's what God promised.
The end.
That was great, kids. Thank you so much for your help.
That is so cool, Kellen. You don't actually have to see something to believe in it.
That's right, which means you don't have to wear these anymore.
Oh, yeah.
True. We can have faith in God just by reading about people from the past. Or there are even things we can see today that can help us believe in God.
Such as?
Well, maybe you can see God in things He's created. Or you can see how God works in the lives of people around you.
That's true. Thanks, Kellen.
No problem. I'll catch you guys next time.
Okay, and I'll see you then.
Okay.
You know, I believe in things I can't see all the time.
You do?
Yeah, like air. Can't see it, believe in it though.
Oh.
What?
Nothing. I don't know, I expected you to say something like leprechauns.
Why would I say something like that?
No reason.
Do you know something I don't know, Brandon? Wait, are leprechauns real? Are leprechauns real?
Reveal the question. What are things you believe that you can't see? You got anything?
I don't know, maybe leprechauns.
Okay. What about you? What are things you believe that you can't see? Is it germs, radio waves, or something else? Talk about it together.
Yeah, I gotta find one, because they'll lead me to their pot of marshmallows or whatever.
There are no such thing as leprechauns.
Yeah, what is it? There's blue diamonds, orange stars, green clovers, purple horseshoes.
Okay, that was the So-and-So Show, folks. Goodbye.
And got to fade. Come here, little leprechaun. It's deep space. Oh, dark matter. Dark matter. They think dark matter exists. It's the binding material in the universe. A tooth cavity.
Look closer. Look closer.
Okay. There's a little bit of light. Is this a star? Is this like a singular star in the distance? Is it a tire tread? It's tires, right? Leather. It's black leather. No.
The TV's turned off, John. You dropped that.